I really agree with what David just said, and I think that in the resolution we just passed, we talked majorly about how the board didn't follow precedent and didn't follow the procedures and our tradition, and we have a process by which we review and choose mission statements, and we can follow that process. I don't think we need any extra committees, or I feel like the process by which our tradition dictates that we select mission statements is adequate, and that we should follow our tradition.
I have Jim Donovan.
I support the motion as David read it. I want to say I support it for several reasons. One is I think it's the right process, making sure everyone is engaged. Second, I support it because, well, for Shimer, we're trying to community. That's the way community would do it. And we build community if we're successful. And there are no guarantees, but I think it might be if we're successful. And I support it too because we're in an interesting position. We rightly just took the mission statement that the board passed because we believe it does not fulfill the criterion of the HLC, that it has broad support of all constituencies within the community. In an interesting way, the mission statement that the Assembly affirmed, and which we've been operating under, also no longer fulfills that criterion because the board does not support it. And so the tone I see of where we are going forward is the Assembly looking at the board and saying, you know, what you did really isn't sufficient. What we have now, we haven't reached you, it isn't sufficient. Come, let us reason together.
Okay. Barbara Stone. Andrea Hoff.
I have a question that doesn't pertain to this, but I also wanted to ask Jim a question in direct response to that. I wonder, did the board of trustees say that they don't like our current mission statement, or
simply concluding that they voted 18 to 16 for the new one instead of the old one? That's all.
Based on the criterion requirement?
Well, they just vote no.
Perhaps. So, right,
You're picking up.
Doesn't have, yeah, ours doesn't have their support, theirs doesn't have our support. We got to work together.
okay, then the question that I was going to ask is, and I think this may be public record, but I'm not a bigger financial paperwork. Like, how important is this institute to our budget, and is there any guarantee that they're going to grant us money for the next year or 4 years? And if this isn't some kind of a legal contract, who cares? I mean, it's genuinely like.
Can I make a direct response?
Ed Walbridge has a direct response to that.
I spoke to Patrick, and I said, well, Patrick, what if his vote to not have confidence in Tom, what that went through? And said, what if the college, the faculty walked away and the students walked away? Well, what? And he said, well, no problem. He wouldn't like that. He really does not like that option. But he said, after all, we can start over, hire new faculty, and the first year get 100 new students. And so I think he has enough money that he could, or that he seems to think it's possible simply to go out and start over. I don't agree with him.
Well, that should start the Mary Baker Eddy Equus
Yeah.
Institute policy.
Well, I'm just answering your question.
Yeah, I have other direct responses to the question asked by Andrea. One is from Marielle, another one is from David.
The question asked by Andrea have to do with the motion on the table
stick
now?
to the motion.
I don't feel like we're adjusting the motion. That seems to more have to do with another agenda item. I don't see how we're any longer discussing the motion that's on the table.
I didn't quite understand the question, to tell you the truth.
Well, I mean, I clarify, and I mean, if it doesn't, that's fine. But if we're thinking about writing a mission statement that takes these criterion into serious consideration,
You're not.
you're not.
No, we're saying that it would be one that would enjoy broad support, as we
More process.
That support would have to deal with that question as opposed to.
Right. Yeah, I would draw them. Thank you.
Okay,
Just a quick response to Andrea, who could actually.
She was.
okay, she withdrew her question. I'm next on the list, and I just have the question of if the agenda committee sends out a call to all constituencies, including the board, is it the will of the assembly that this message explicitly state that we are seeking statements that will have the support of as many people as possible, or as many constituencies as possible. That's my understanding, but if someone
That's what it said.